Hello sculptors, my name is Rachel Stevens and I'm the juror for the 34th Rosen sculpture competition. And I wish I could be talking to you in person in Boone, North Carolina. But alas, because of COVID-19, I'm in this Airbnb in Missoula, Montana. Please be forewarned, there's lots of construction outside of the house. And yard work as well. So there may be machinic interruptions followed by the loud barking of my large standard poodle, Micah. But with that, I'm here to talk to you about the selections for the exhibition this year. And before I do that, I do want to thank Marianne Redding for inviting me to be the juror for this year's competition. And just want to commend you all for your patience in allowing Marianne to work out very creative solutions to the exhibition in light of the pandemic. So with that, I'm going to go in alphabetical order for the winners. The first work I want to talk about is Teeter Tower, a sculpture from 2019 by Amante. It's made from painted steel. It's a towering 97 inches tall. And what attracted me to this work is that it's basically a vertical diptych. What serves as a kind of pedestal for the primary units is a austere steel, it looks like a cylindrical tube, and atop it sits 5 circular, just sky blue circular forms. Some have a little nub protruding from their centers, and this is a piece that boils down to a kind of visual music. And I took delight in that fanciful expression of whimsy through the metal form. Joan Benefiel's Hoodoos from 2019 is created from what appears to be cast resin and Core-10 steel, standing at 93 inches. It's also a towering work. What really attracted me to this piece through the slide imagery was the kind of almost flock-like texture of the steel holding aloft these 2 biomorphic forms that are at once geological and figurative in expression. Having lived in New Mexico for more than 25 years, hoodoos are a rather common stone formation in our landscapes, and I really appreciated the luminous translation of geology into these forms. I want to commend Joan's eye through photography, these works, to look through them or look up at them with the sky behind them. I think that's going to be a kind of a really beautiful play between earth and atmosphere. So I'm really looking forward to seeing these works in person. David Boyajian's Unfurling is from 2020. It's welded from oxidized steel, and it stands 10 feet tall by 8 by 5 feet. And this is a beautiful kind of classical image of positive and negative space, curvilinear forms, planar curvilinear forms, just masterfully arranged dynamically in space. This would be a fun piece to kind of mentally insert yourself into, playing, kind of weaving through all these negative spaces. There is a suggestion of a figurative form as well. Very lovely. Hanna Jubran's Light Pulse is from 2018. It stands 11 feet tall and is 3 feet by 2 feet in depth and length. It's also made from painted steel. This is a trio of abstract forms that are clustered together on a narrow rectangular base. The colors are red, yellow, and blue, and these are applied to really bring out different forms within each piece and to create contrast between the trio. Like many other pieces in this exhibition, the work is at once statuesque in its height and its verticality, while being very playful and whimsical. Gretchen Lotz's sculpture Blue Nautilus has been accepted for the Brom. It was made in 2018, and it's cast from bronze. The work stands 31 inches tall at its height and 31 inches at its longest width. And attracting me to this piece is it's just the pleasure of biomorphia. It has the quality of a scorpion's tail and is curvilinear in nature, and it has very soft and supple convex surfaces punctuated by these gentle ridges. A beautiful interplay of positive and negative space is elicited by the form. It's just a pleasure to look at and very ambitious in scale in terms of making a bronze work. Charles Pilkey's Steampunk Babylon is from 2020. It's comprised of rusted steel and bronze. It stands 10 feet tall, and at its broadest depth and length is 66 inches. This work brings to mind a kind of machinic reinterpretation of Peter Bruegel's Tower of Babel, but now the aesthetic is turned to steampunk. And it's a cylindrical form that seems to be telescoping upward, vertically upward, getting smaller and smaller. And its surface is punctuated by all of these presumably found objects and perhaps cast bronze pieces. Again, I have to speak to the limitations of the slide format since the surface of this piece is unified through the rust. A very handsome, solid work, but whose surface is very, once again, whimsical, which seems to be a kind of form theme with the works in this exhibition. I look forward to meeting Steampunk Babylon in person. Rudisill's Phoenix is from 2020, and it's fabricated from galvanized steel, milled steel, copper, and paint. It's a very tall piece, standing at 103.5 inches. Its length and width at its base is 17 by 17.5 inches. And the image here is a kind of abstract interpretation of a rooster, very tall and thin in its verticality. It kind of speaks to an ongoing sculptural question as what constitutes form, what constitutes sculpture. The image here speaks so much to the folk art tradition, but there's a very sophisticated approach to form mixed with this kind of really fun folk art sensibility. Scicluna's Scheme from 2020 is made from concrete parking bumpers and rebar. It stands at 5 feet tall and is 6 by 6 feet at the base. Unlike most of the works in this exhibition, Tom's work speaks to a minimalist tradition in sculptural objects, as well as found objects. It's a more austere, grounded work, seemingly not having the whimsy of many of the pieces I've discussed, which is why I think this piece really stands out. It from my perspective, looking at it through my computer window, it's a piece that also might invite interaction. To scramble up this would be a kind of mini experience that you might have at the Great Pyramid of Giza, perhaps. So I'll look forward to seeing this piece as well. Wayne Vaughn's work, The Dance, from 2018, is made from painted and patinated steel. It stands 7.5 feet tall and is 4 by 4 feet at its base. The image is of a kind of asteroid or planetary form, or perhaps the top of a medieval mace, precariously balanced on a swooping kind of pyramid-shaped base. And it's that kind of tension and balance of orb to base that really excites me, as well as the populated kind of pimples and spikes protruding from the sphere. This is a piece that I just really react to because it's just so active in terms of texture. Glenn Zweygardt's sculptural trio from 2018 is entitled Remembering Giotto. It's made from painted and powder-coated stainless steel and bronze. The tallest member is 104 inches tall, and this sculpture brings to mind kind of an extension of David Smith's work in terms of a lot of the verticality, the totemic quality of these forms, how they interrelate to one another, abstract figures in a landscape, the varied use of the grinder to create shimmering surfaces, coupled with areas of rusted metal and other areas of very bright primary colors. So a lot of orchestration going on here with surface, form, and color. So that concludes this digital tour of the participants in the Turchin Center's 34th annual sculpture competition. I really look forward to meeting all of you in person next year. It takes a lot of just optimism and perhaps some courage to continue participating in life a little bit as we know it. And Marianne and I are so grateful to you all for extending the placement of your works for 2 years, which is great. Sculpture is much happier when it has a home. So life will return to normal. With art, there is hope.